Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 4 replays in the Soviet Tier 5 light tank, the T-50. Now if you're wondering why this is on the channel again as a third mark video, if you haven't guessed by the title, because you're thinking, I swear he's already done this. Well, I did this pre 6.0 on Derp Diggler. On Derp Diggler is an account that I was playing on and 3 marking up tech trees, playing tanks I had never played before and doing that sort of thing. But I've shelved Derp Diggler now, just because the progression system is really horrible and I don't fancy doing some of the stock grinds that you have to play where you do like 40k XP with a stock gun before you get anywhere near a gun that you should have been able to unlock anyway. So I've kind of shelved that for now. It may return if they finally rework the XP progression system, but not for now. But yeah, the T-50, and I was playing it for... I think I wanted to see about possibly doing an on-track series for this, for the T100 LT when I finally unlock it, because I'm still about 80k away from it with the T54 lightweight. And I thought, you know what, I'll play a game in this. And I played a game in it and was like, oh my god, this light tank is just so much fun. I forgot how much fun this light tank is. Now, it is one of those tanks that I load full gold in. I hate loading full gold, but it's one of those tanks that I'm not going to play with the standard rounds, quite frankly, because it's only got 90mm of pen, which, to be fair, post 6.0 is more likely to pen than it would have done pre 6.0, but honestly, the 90 pen, you bounce off so many same tier tanks, it's ridiculous. Like, if you take some of the tier 4 heavy tanks, you bounce off of those with 90 standard pen, it's just so irritating. So I just take that straight out of the equation and go the full prem. It's expensive, but to be honest, it's more about just enjoying the tank as a whole, and yeah, that's why I do it. And this is a video that you're going to see something that I think it's going to be the first time it's ever happened on the channel anyway, and that is we're going to see 3 medals escalate. So you're going to have a Devastator, a Radleys, and a Pools medal. And yeah, this tank is so much fun. And right now we are on Prokhorovka. And you know, this is the perfect light tank map, really. You can get good spotting out, you can use good mobility to your advantage, all that good stuff. And the one thing with this tank was really fun before 6.0, but post 6.0 it's definitely a lot more fun because it just makes the tank all that little bit better, because the accuracy of the gun's better, because it's one of those things. It's also, that's the other issue with the 90 pen on the standard round, is that the gun was derpy, really derpy. So often you had to hit the right spot. Like on a KV1, you have to hit the flat part, the lower plate or the upper plate. You have to hit that spot to possibly pen it. And even then you probably still wouldn't, but you had to hit it. And the 0.4 something accuracy that this gun had, you just didn't hit right where you needed to, and it was a pain in the ass. And even with the 130 pen that this tank gets with its premium APCR, there's a lot of times that that's not even enough to pen a lot of tanks. And imagine if you get tier 6 games or tier 7 games, there's a lot of games that you really don't pen things, even with this APCR, and it's a pain in the backside. But yeah, that's the one real drawback to this tank, and that is the penetration. But the mobility is quite nice. It's not exactly the quickest, but the mobility is okay. The gun handling, like I say, used to be woeful, but post 6.0, this is not a thing anymore. The view range is okay, it's 360, it's not the best, but if you bump it up with all the good stuff, you can outspot a lot at tier 5. As well as that, the new camo net helps. Like, pre 6.0, I used to run the vents, optics, and a binocular. I used to run binoculars, and that was so that if I pulled up in a bush, I could set up the binoculars and get ridiculously good view range. But obviously they took binoculars out, which is an annoyance for a lot of low tier tanks, and then that meant that there's a little less that you can think of to pick. Now I picked the camo net because obviously it's a light tank, and now the camo net is effective all the time. It's really useful because that way I can stay more stealthed up a lot longer. So on Prokhorovka, we have done a lot of work on this mid-ridge. We've been bouncing up and down on it. We've kept trying to keep the vision on the enemy team up. We've been harassing with the gun as much as possible. We've racked up 979 damage, 964 damage as well. I mean, because this gun only has, it's either between 50 or 70 damage. So you're not doing a lot when you're firing in 1.8 seconds, which is nuts. But you're not hitting for a lot generally. So we're trying to pick some shots at this A20, which are just not quite going in, because although it is APCR, the shell velocity isn't the best on it, so it does require a little bit of lead. Now, we got kind of lucky that Panzer III-4 missed us. He could have killed us there, but we did get the spotting on him as he got shut down. The light tank over there gets shut down. Now there's just the DS Pazins at F6 that I've got to worry about. There's 3 TDs and a heavy tank. Now, the 3 TDs, I'm pretty possibly sure that they could be down here on the 2 line. The heavy tank is just in front of us. I'm trying to get higher up so I can shoot this heavy through the bushes. And here we go. We got some shots at this guy through the bushes. We set him on fire. I was hoping to not get lit up as we did that, but it's fine. He's burning away. We get down into the low ground, and we're just going to keep moving and firing if we can. Now we get unspotted. We'll fire back through the bushes because we're not going to get spotted, and we shut that guy down. So now it just leaves us against an artillery, 3 TDs, and the medium tanks. Now we know there was a TD down on the 7 line at like K7 because he's spotted there by a heavy tank. We know where the medium tank is. And the medium tank is kind of an awkward one because that DS Pazins is actually quite awkward for the 130 pen on this gun because it tends to just ricochet the odd shot here and there, and it can be a little bit frustrating. We've just seen the artillery shell fly in, and before we go hunting the artillery, the Hetzer gets lit up, and it's like, okay, we're not going to let him Hetz this day because Hetzer's going to Hetz, and we're not letting that happen. We pop a shot, unfortunately it misses, we get one blind. The artillery gets lit up, well, you've got to shoot the piggy. We boost our view range with the food as much as possible, move into more bush cover, start firing at this Hetzer, hoping to pen him, because we either have to hit the side or his lower plate, and we shut down the Hetzer. Now there's just that medium tank and the 2 TDs. We're going to try and move into a position now where we can get some shots at these TDs that are attacking our heavy tank. And we really want to help this guy as much as possible. We got into a position where we can get a nice shot on the move into the Hetzer. And their team is bunched up now. So there's 3 TDs with me, myself. That shot shuts down that Hetzer, which is nice. Those 2 guys from the enemy team are on that side of the bridge. My whole team's on this side. Now, I'm a one-shot for both of them. And I don't really want to go into that because I will die. I get spotted by the DS here, and I'm like, just please don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't shoot me. Duck and dodge, dip, dive, dodge, duck, weave, bob. We get unspotted. Luckily, he misses blind, and we get onto the other side of this ridgeline. Now, I'm going to try and light him up, because obviously I've got TDs, I've got friends. They could probably shoot him. I don't light him up when I do a little run on top of the ridge, so I'm thinking, right, where can I go now to try and get more shots? Now, we know the TD is on the other side of the train tracks, so what I want to kind of do is push over, spot him up, and get some shots into them, and hopefully finish him off and isolate this medium tank. So we're just going to change up where we are. The other thing that I was thinking is possibly the DS has actually gone back under the bridge, and in fact there's the T67. We try and pop a shot on the move, miss, and then we're just going to keep moving. Now obviously the T67 is a turreted TD. It's one of those tanks that doesn't actually have a very good turret. And I'm thinking, well, if I get onto this guy, there's the possibility of, if I get past his gun and his turret, I could farm him and he won't be able to keep up with me rotating wise. So we're just going to do it. We're going in on this T67. He was facing the other way. He misses his shot and we finish him off. And now there's just the DS Pazins left. We're up to 1900 damage, which is a lot of damage for a tank that does 50 damage or 70 damage. One, two, I can't quite remember. And that is, yeah, it's a lot of damage. This DS is on our tail. I was thinking of firing on the move there. Now we're out of detection range. I do fire, but we're actually still get spotted anyway. He misses. We duck into this cover where the bridge is, and now we're just going to keep trying to pop some shots. But he's charging this way, so I'm not playing that game. I'm going to go try and get some shots into his booty, basically. So what I'm anticipating right now is that that medium tank is going to keep ploughing, is going to keep charging, and which is what he's done, straight forward. And I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to go back down the train tracks to E6 and get shots down and into the back of him. But instead, I sort of loop back round to him. He's actually poking up on top of the train tracks, which is dangerous. This could be my end if he gets a shot, but I luckily get unspotted just as I do it. And now I'm going back to what I originally planned to do, and that is to get onto the train tracks up here and shoot down onto where he is. Because with him spotted, I can actually shoot him without getting spotted myself. So here we go. There's the ricochet, unfortunately. We get 1 in, 2 in. Hopefully we'll finish him off. 3 in, and then 4. And it's definitely 70 damage that this gun does, not 50. So we finished that game with a nice total victory. We come top on our team. 7 kills, 2,200 damage, nearly 2.1k base, 1,300 assistance, 7 kills, ace tanker, devastator, top gun, scout medal, high caliber, and a really nice game for the T50. And obviously, when you've got 70 average damage to hit like 2.2k, that is a lot for a 70. If you in a tank that does 240 average, right? You're thinking that's 10 shots of damage. I had to do 47 direct hits to do that much damage. You have to put in a lot of work to get high numbers in tanks like the T50. And there's a lot can go wrong, like having low pen, generally, that can help it can just hinder you, generally. So the next one, we're on Cliff. Or is it Arctic Region? Or Mountain Pass? Yeah, anyway, it's Cliff. And we're going to go play the aggressive push, and that is go straight in to E2. Now it's kind of risky. It's high risk, high reward kind of position, because obviously I could charge into this bit here, and then they have half their team charge round, and then it's just game over, right? I've come into this position. My team is all sat on the 1-2, which is something you never see, right? But hey ho, we're at tier 5. I'm fairly confident in this tank because I like this tank and I feel like I can do quite a lot in it. We've got this poor little A40. He tried to pop a shot as he popped over. He didn't quite make it, and he gets shut down. We're going to try and get some shots into this T28. Unfortunately, we missed that one. We've just got to be a little bit wary in this position because of artillery, and artillery will hurt us in many ways. We swivel round when we come into this position. Now, the reason I did the little handbrake turn and swiveled round to be like this is the moment I get spotted, I'm going to dash straight back into the dip where I came from, because that way I can dip down, get away from any guns that might try and hurt me, and just avoid taking damage. So obviously I reverse slower than I go forward. Then we realise this Lago's here, so it's like, okay, let's get some shots into him. The derpy gun handling there lets us down. We end up hitting the floor in front of him, but we managed to shut him down. Now he's gone, I'm going to rotate back to where I was to try and get some shots at the T28. That's when we spot a Matilda, which is obviously not a very fun tank because it's one that we can just keep, as you see, ricochet off relentlessly. We keep ricocheting rounds left, right and centre off this guy. This is where if we have the standard rounds, we just cannot penetrate him. He's using the he's using the howitzer on that tank. So you see, he fires, I watch the shell as it comes in and I pull back. So we fire again, watch the shell whiz past, and shut him down. It's always surreal seeing those howitzers on the British mediums, because and the Churchill, to be fair, because the shell you can legitimately watch that shell flying and go, right, I need to pull back. It dodges you. It's so funny to see. But yeah, we're gonna try and get some shots into this Leopard. Unfortunately, he's just hiding behind this rock. He's actually behind cover there, which is kind of unfortunate. We're getting some shots into the T28. Hopefully we'll get to shut him down, and we do finish him off. And now this Leopard is in a position where he's sort of, I think he's having a physics moment, I think is what's happening there with this Leopard. He's kind of getting caught on the rocks. We do manage to get a shot into him. Hopefully we'll get to finish him off when he comes back around these rocks. We do finish him off, and we're up to 1,100 damage. Now I'm thinking of helping my team out as they come around this corner. There's a VK here on low health. Pop over, finish him off. And now I'm thinking of going for the artillery. Because artillery, you want to get rid of the piggy, right? So we're going to go charge after the piggy, hopefully shut him down, get some more damage. We've just seen where the shell tracer is for the artillery, so we know exactly where he is. We've probably got another 15 seconds before he's got to fire again, so I know I can just rush in, hopefully get some shots into him. Unfortunately, we end up ricocheting that one. We keep him moving in case he does reload. Luckily, we track him while we're firing on the move, and we shut down the artillery. So now the next play is to go after the guys that are heading towards our cap, because obviously try and stop them capping. So we're going to plough through this section up here. We're on 7 kills, and we're going to go up here over the 6-7 line. And I'm looking at this going, there's 4 guys left. this could be a pools, you know. Like, this could be a pools. Because if they plough into our cap, right, I can reset it quite easily from up here. And that'll be, yeah, an easy pools medal. So, we're going to charge over. We get to the MX-40, but unfortunately my team's actually capping, which is going to limit what we're going to be able to do. We get some shot. We're trying to shoot this duck. We're cruelty to small animals here. We're pummeling the shots in. Unfortunately, he gets behind cover. We've got 8 seconds left. We're on for a Radleys. We want to get it. 8 seconds left. We're going for this duck. We shoot him. We ram him to get the kill. Just in the nick of time. The game ends. And we finish it with 1700 damage, 35 assist, epic victory, 8 kills, top of the leaderboards. And yeah, Ace Tanker, Devastator, Radley Walters, a Ranger medal for killing all the light tanks, Top Gun and High Caliber, 1466 base XP, a nice game for the T50. And that was one that I was thinking this could be a pools medal very easily. But unfortunately my team capped out, which limited what we could do. But nonetheless, it was still a really, really nice game. And as you see, with the premium spamming, it hurts your wallet a lot. Minus 64k, ouchies. So we're on to the third game. The penultimate game. And we're on Arctic region. It is actually Arctic region this time. And what I'm going to do is plough up here to about G6. The little shelf, basically, is what I'm thinking of going to. So hopefully I might be able to get some shots. But I'm thinking I might go to the shelf and shoot anyone that crosses. But what I might actually do is go into the bushes in front of this shelf in the low ground and try and spot up anything that might be heading down the 7-8 line or anything that's camping up there. So we take up the position at the bush and I'm thinking, yeah, right, okay, you know what, let's do it. Boost our view range with food, get into the bushes, and then we're going to pull back behind the bushes and try and fire at this guy without getting spotted. Now, obviously, I fail here because we actually go too low for our gun depression. We start firing in this bush, we get 1 in, we get 2 in, and it's like, no, okay, I'm not sticking around. We're not doing that. We try and pop a shot at the Valentine on the move with our BRT. Obviously, it goes in because that's just what happens nowadays. And we retreat back to the position we took. That Valentine gets shut down by the artillery, which gives us some assistance. We've now got a free farm attempt at this Churchill 1, but again, he is awkward with 130 pen. We're really going to struggle at this guy unless he turns sideways on, which is what he's done, which is very fortunate for us. It's a very annoying tank to fire at with very low pen because as soon as it turns frontally on, you have to hit the turret, and at this distance, 130 pen is not 130 pen. It drops a lot lower. So we're going to try and move up into this bush in here now, see if we can get some more shots at those guys up north, hopefully. I was looking at possibly getting some shots at the VK that was behind this rock, but then this Panzer IIIJ gets spotted, and look at this poor guy. Oh, that's so unfortunate. He's had a physics moment, he's flipped over, and unfortunately we actually didn't catch him in time to get most of his health. We only got 2 shots into him, and we're going to move forward. We're going to go after these guys up north. We get a shot on the move into this HM... Oh, it's not HM6, it's an M5 Stuart. Unfortunately, don't get any more shots into him as he drops down. And we're just going to keep moving up north. Because there's a possibility I can get shots... There we go. We've got some shots into the back of this VK. We're just going to start pummeling them in. I'm quite surprised I'm not going through his tracks there. But we do, in the short time it takes, get to shut him down. That's the one thing... It's just like the T-34 in a way. In the fact that by the time you've taken most of someone's health, they haven't realised what's happening. So you fire 1 in and they're like, oh, that was only a little bit of health. Then you fire 2 in, then you fire 3 and 4. And before they know it, all the health is gone. That's just one of those things with these fast firing guns. So I'm looking at my team now, and I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to help the team out by going for artillery. But then this Wolverine gets, this Sav M43, sorry, not a Wolverine, gets lit up. And yeah, we're just going to pummel some shots into him. This Stug comes after us. I decide to ignore the Stug, and I'm just going to go after this little TD. We do shut him down. We're getting up this ridgeline away from the Stug, and now we can actually get back round him again. He should have bought a turret. There's no other way around it. He should have gone to the store and bought himself a turret for his little TD. We shut him down, and now it's time to do God's work. We've spotted the little medium tank ploughing down the 0 line, which has me a little bit concerned because he could come and ruin my plans. But Hey, we're still going for this artillery. We're getting rid of this. Hopefully we'll shut down that one before he gets a shot. As we do, we're going to just keep shooting this M41. We shut the M41 down, and now there's the HMC M8. He ends up killing my loader, which is a little bit irritating. But we're going to just shut him down. And now we're going to go back for the enemy team that is on the BC line. Now, obviously, we could get shots at the rear of this light tank and medium tank from this position over here. And like you see, we did actually have a shot. But I want to get up to B5 and try and get some shots into the rear of this 4 tanks that are attacking my medium tank now. I was quite surprised at the time that my tanks had actually lost on that corner because most of the team was there, but unfortunately they ended up losing that fight. I'm just going to get there a little bit too late, but hopefully I'll be able to pick up a few shots into the back of these guys before they've progressed. We're not actually spotting anyone at this point, so they have pushed further down the 1-2 towards our base. But again, like I'm hoping they're not expecting a light tank to just pop up behind them and start shooting them. So we've got this M5. He didn't spot us as we fired at him, which is nice. So we shut him down. And now we've got this rear of this Churchill 1. We've broken his engine and tracked him. We shut him down. Now there's the T-34. We're just going to keep reversing behind this dead wreck in front of me so that this guy has a tough shot. We shut him down. And the team that was up here in this corner is now dead for them. And there's just 2 tanks left. There's an ELC and a medium tank. I think it's a Rampanzer. And I'm thinking, right, they're expecting me to come this way. I'm going to go the other way and go down the 4-5 line. But what I actually see is my heavy tank going down the 4-5. And I think, you know what, actually, I don't want to go the same way as him because I don't want to draw them both into that fire. But I should have stuck with my guns because actually these two have realised what I was doing. I panic a little bit, crash into a rock, and that last gasp shot into the Rampanzer, RNG takes it in, finishes him off, and that was actually for the Pools medal. We nearly threw it there, but we got lucky, managed to finish him off, get 10 kills, 2.4k damage, Pascucci's, Devastator, Pools medal, high caliber, Top Gun, 2.2k base, not 2.2k base, it's 2k base, 2027 base XP. A really nice, really nice game for the T50. That was my 10th Pools medal, which is a nice thing to have. It's a nice round number. And honestly, yeah, this tank is just so much fun. It's a brilliant tank. As is most of the Soviet light tank line, to be fair. Because this tank's really good. The MT-25 is a lot of fun. And it's got that pew-pew 57mm that you have on the A43 and the T-34. You've got the LTG, which is okay. It's not the best light tank. I'll put that out there. It's not the best light tank, but it's okay. Then you've got the LTTB, which can be pretty decent. It's not really for me, but it's a really damn good light tank. I mean, you've just got to look at Turkey's channel, right? Because Turkey has thousands of LTTB videos on there. It's his favourite tank quite easily. And then you've got the T-54 lightweight, which is just an utterly fantastic tier 9 light tank generally. And the T-100LT, which I can't really say too much about because I've not actually played it myself yet. But I know for a fact it's just so goddamn good at hitting shots on the move and it's pretty okay. So I'm looking forward to that one myself. It's going to be a fun time. So we're on Mountain Pass now. And I've pushed very aggressively across this open space here. I'm getting up to this side of the track middle area, wherever we are, because I want to stay covered from anyone that could get up behind me at H4, because they can get on top of that ledge and they'll hurt me. But we're actually getting YOLO'd by this KV-222, which with the 130 pen, we will just about, when we're shooting up, pen is lower plate, but the turret is the weak spot on these things because that's the unskinned Bogatyr. We farm it up and we kill it. We've got some shots into this IKV. I haven't quite realised yet that there was a heavy tank attacking my Absolution, but it's an Absolution versus a T14. He's going to win every time. We're getting some shots into the cupola of this BDR. Now the BDR's coming over. This is the world of YOLO positions. It is one of those positions where it tends to draw people in and they sort of go, I'm going to get you, and they die like that. But we're getting all this assistance as well. We're up to 800 assistance. We're on 400 damage as well. I mean, we're at about 94.5 at this point. It only takes about 1200 damage to get this thing to the 3 marks. So at the minute, we're in the movement zone. We're not going to drop. And even if, I mean, even if we were going to drop at the position we're in, it wouldn't be much. So we're not going to drop. We're at a good amount already. That's, what, 1400 combined, which is a nice amount for a tier 5. Like I say, it's going to be enough movement. At the minute, probably not quite enough for the 3rd mark, but there is a lot of tanks in front of us. So we're going to use these bushes in front of me to try and get some shots at this Bogatyr, aiming for the lower plate, because even the turret on those things is a pain in the backside to pen when you've got absolutely no pen and a very low gun caliber, because the gun caliber on this is like 45mm gun instead of like 57 or a 75 or whatever you get at the tier. So tanks like the Bogatyr and the KV-220 and the captured KV-1, the KV-1, they can be an absolute nightmare. But we're trying to keep popping shots through this bush and keep working these guys over. We're just going to keep popping round and shooting this guy. We get lucky and bounce the Bogatyr. We then eat a shot finally from the captured KV-1. I'm thinking, I don't really want to do that too much anymore, so I'm just going to wait until I get unspotted and then poke out, because I know that I can poke out and fire at these guys and not get spotted. We've spotted this little gap to fire at this guy through, so I'm aiming for the lower plate with the premium. We're going straight through it, and we're just going to keep working this guy over because he can't spot us right now. So this is a free farm. This is exactly what we want for this 3rd mark grind, and hopefully we'll get to shut him down. But unfortunately, the VK 3001H drives in front of us, blocks the shot. But we get another farm onto the captured KV-1. We get to shut him down, and now there's only artillery left. And I'm, at this point, pretty confident I'm going to get the 3rd mark of excellence for the tank. And kind of disappointingly get the 3rd mark of excellence for the tank, because quite honestly, when I finished the 3rd mark for it, I was just disappointed. Because it meant that I've done everything I can with the tank. And I love this little thing. This thing is so much fun. The artillery's got lit. We're just going to work it over. Bathtub finishes it off. And we finished the game with 1700 damage, 908 assistance, 2 kills, 1446 base XP. That's about 2600 combined. Ace tanker, 3rd mark of excellence. Yeah, a really nice game for the T50, which is an incredibly fun light tank. The entire line is fun, and it's well worth having a go at. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!